Hey, what's up guys, Pallav here from nothingwire.com, and I have the Coolpad Note 3 Lite. We already did a full review of this device, but today I'm going to talk about the camera test of this device in depth, and also we're going to talk about the performance in real time. We have some images, we have some videos, and we're going to talk about the color reproduction and how this performs in low light and some of the other things. Now remember, it's a 7000 INR device. Now I'm not going to compare it with, who wants to, with the iPhones or with the Galaxy Notes or Galaxy S6s or even LG G4s and Xperia Z5s. But what I'm going to do here is, whether you get the camera quality out here, is when you take these photos to your friend who has one of these phones, you can just say, hey, you got that photo, very nice, I got the similar photo, it's close, it's not that bad. That's what we're looking at in this video. So let's see whether it actually stands up to that and provides you an exceptional value for money in the camera category. Now, first thing first, this guy has a 13 MP rear camera and a 5 MP front camera. The rear camera is autofocus, the 5 MP front camera is fixed focus. Whenever you open the app, you'll see a very minimalistic UI and a widescreen view. Now, minimalistic UI is something that I really like. Particularly when I do not have any hardware buttons like the dedicated cameras do. Here, I need to compose my frame. I need to do my, all the stuff. I need to click photos and videos on this frame. So I do not want unnecessary information. That's what it gives you. On the left side, you have the front to back camera toggle button, which is very apparent and very easy to tap. And then below, you have the flash settings. On top, you have the very tiny arrow, on clicking which you'd get the HDR options, you get some filters, and you get advanced settings where you can go ahead and you can adjust some of the other things like brightness and touch shutter and location and thing. And then you still get something called an advanced setting where you can go to the preview size and storage path and shutter sound, fast capture. Now coming back to the UI, on the right hand you get the shutter button, and then you also get some of the shooting modes like normal shot, face beauty, HDR, dim light shot, smile shot, and they are pretty self-explanatory. Apart from that, you can also toggle between various modes like the still mode, then the pro mode, and then also a video mode. So you can just swipe down or up to go to any of these modes. Now photo and video modes are, well, fine, they are usual, but these days phones started coming with this pro mode, which I really like. Now in pro mode, you can customize more options that you can usually do with the normal photo mode, or normal, you can say, auto mode. Once you're in the pro interface, just tap the pro icon on the top, and then you get this nice lens like, or you can zoom ring like, or focus ring like structure, where you can just slide your fingers on each of these and manually adjust those. You can adjust the focus distance or how it focuses, ISO, exposure compensation scale, and also you can focus the white balance as well. By default, they're generally in auto. Now that's all about the UI. Talking about the image and video performance, the color reproduction for most part is, well, pretty good, I would say, and accurate. The saturation and hue are towards the neutral side, does not try to oversaturate the color palettes, except maybe the red part just a tad bit. But I see the shade of the saturation is about half a shade less than what in actual is. So the contrast is slightly less as well. So that's something that you would notice here, and particularly under artificial light. There is absolutely no vignetting. You can see the plain white wall here. There is no vignetting towards the corner as well. There's absolutely no distortion, so very good camera that way. The white balance is also good. I used a custom white balance in this particular photo, and it actually gave us the proper orange color. Now talking about the low light performance, which really amazed me, you can see some of these photos are actually taken at night, in the evening, under maybe one bulb of artificial light, and they do not show much noise. They show, and when you zoom into 100%, obviously they will show because it's a small sensor. But yeah, just to stress the sensor, I took this photo in absolute pitch darkness, and you can see. I mean, I'll upload some of the some of these images onto Flickr and give you the link so that you can check out the actual quality video, actual resolution video, and you can also check out the metadata. You'll find that this is clicked at f/2, which is, by the way, great maximum aperture, but the ISO is close to 2200. In 2200, you of course you can see some of the noise if you go pixel peeping, but for a camera at this price point, I think there's nothing short of astonishing. Particularly this one shot again I really like is of the Kuala Lumpur Tower, where you can zoom in to 100%. You will see the texture on the tower's white. So from distance you might think that that's a totally white texture, but when you go close you can actually make out the texture, all those black vertical lines on the tower. That's talking about the dynamic range of the camera. It actually brought out those. Lot of cameras at this price point, I would say, probably would fail that, or probably would show a noise and kind of mess that up. Now the next two photographs, in fact the next three photographs, including the black and white photographs, were taken when we were moving in a bus, and there's a glass in between us and the bus is moving real fast. Now this is an advantage of shooting in a pro mode. I was shooting in a pro mode and I could actually freeze the motion, not totally. Another reason for that could be because there's a wind blowing, but otherwise also you can see there's a fairly freezed motion in almost all the pictures out there. The front camera, however, is only average. Despite of being a 5MP front camera, it really did not need to be fixed focus, and it could have been autofocus. Maybe that was kept down, that or autofocus was kept out of the picture to keep the cost low. But 5MP is a good enough resolution in today's phone front camera terms, and I really would have liked it to be autofocus. The details are relatively okay on the inner light, but it's not much worth using on the low light. So overall, I think the camera of the Coolpad Note 3 Lite, well, I won't say it's a game changer. I would say it's up to the level of the flagship and maybe even to the level of the premium mid-range. But for the price point, it could be one of the best cameras for the price point, under 10,000 maybe.